Hello, welcome. I'll take my glasses off so it's not shining. Welcome to the 3D market commentary for today, Wednesday, May the 4th. For those Star Wars fans out there, May the 4th be with you. Let me just put the disclaimers up there on the left-hand side of the screen. So please read them, even if you need to pause the video to do so. As they are being read, I was going to say, but as you are reading those there, let me just point to different places you can go for support. So you have two different email addresses here, Becky@tradewithufos.com and support@tradewithufos.com. The different places you can go there. You also have this link here, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. That will bring you to this link, this page. From here, you can book one-on-one coaching with me if you'd like. There are different apps and courses, coaching that you can get from this link. If you scroll down, then there are live session notes. We've yet to use this just because it's a new feature, but once we start the sessions, should be this week, then of course we will be filling this out as well. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll notice a question and answer section where you can ask a question if you'd like, or you may find the answer to your question already there. So different places to go, different resources that you can use. Now, let's have a look at the 3D market commentary. So the 3D market commentary is, of course, a video that we do every day, Monday to Friday. For those of you that follow us, you know what this is. For those of you that don't, maybe this is the first video you've seen. Let me explain to you what this is. So every day we send out an email to our free members that gives information on major world markets. We look at three major statistical elements, which is why we call it a 3D approach. So we have market climate, which is this one here, using this app AutoClimate, which allows us to figure out where the upcoming likely direction of the market would be. Is it likely to move up, down, or nowhere? So we'll look at that per market using AutoClimate to help, using the colors of the dots. I'll show you what they are as we go. Then we have buy and sell UFOs. UFOs in this case stands for unfilled orders, and it means where do we have buyers, shown here by the little green UFO on our Auto UFO app, and where do we have sellers, shown here by the red UFOs, that could move price. Buyers can push price up, sellers can push price down. We want to know where they are. We use an app to help us with that. Then we'll look at market volatility, how quickly we expect these markets to move. So we'll start with the S&P 500, which is what we have here on the right-hand side. For each of the markets, we're looking at a daily chart, so a daily time frame. Of course, different things happen on different time frames, but what we're looking at on each of these markets is relevant to a daily time frame. So on this market, on this time frame, we have a thick red dot probability to the downside. This is for the S&P 500, the top 500 US stocks. That's what that thick red dot is telling us on AutoClimate. Probability is down. Now we have sellers here between 45.09 to 44.32.75, quite a way away from where we are now. We have buyers here between 39.83.75 to 39.33.75, also reasonably far away from where we are now. So overall, probability to the downside on a daily chart of the S&P for the time being. With volatility, we would expect movement up or down in 1 year of 29.04%. So in a day, that's 76.57 points. In a week, 168.57 points. And in a month, 350.9 points. Again, that's either up or down expected movement. So that's the S&P 500 on each of those elements. Now moving on to the next market, which is crude oil. So let's just squidge this so we see what we need to see. There we go. Now, just before we look at crude oil, just to highlight here about the different courses that we offer. We do courses in futures, stocks, forex, backtesting, trading plans, and psychology. So different courses that will help you with different elements of your trading. Now, most of the courses come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps. AutoClimate, which is this one here, which shows us where the probabilities lie, is a free app on most platforms. You can use it on anyway. Auto UFOs which is this one here that shows us the buyers and sellers. This is a paid for monthly subscription for this app. Depending on which platform you use depends on the price, so check out the different platforms. You can subscribe directly to it. You don't have to do a course in order to use the Auto UFOs. You can subscribe directly to use them. But a lot of times, using a course and getting 3 months free access is cheaper than it would be to just use the apps. So check that out depending on what's best for you. So coming back to crude oil, thick red dot, probability down. Now we do also have sellers here, reasonably close by, between 115.54 to 108.68. And we have buyers quite a way away at 80.47 to 77.83. So overall, closer to sellers with probability down at the moment. So overall, more probabilities to the downside. However, as we can see, this market has kind of been bouncing around for the past few weeks, not quite sure what it's doing. So I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we see a change of probabilities, depending on what happens with these sellers. If we hit these sellers today and move down from there, then we should see a continuation of our probability down. If we continue to bounce around and not move anywhere, I wouldn't be surprised to see tomorrow turn to a thin dot, which would be telling us that we don't have enough probability either way. So we'll see. But for now, overall probability down. Volatility, a movement in a year, it would be expected of 54.04%. But in a day, 3.63 points. In a week, 7.98 points. And in a month, 16.62 points. That's crude oil. The next market is gold. So let's load gold. Now, just to highlight down here about coaching and support, we offer lots of coaching and support for free. I showed you at the start all of the different places you can go for help and resources. A lot of them are free. Now, we do also have a closed coaching community, which is a small monthly fee to get access to live trading videos and extra resources. So check that out if you think it would be helpful. Okay, gold. Big red dot, probability downwards. Now we have sellers up here between 2003 and 1962.7. And we have buyers down here between 1815.8 to 1788.5. Unlikely that either of those stacks of buyers or sellers will affect us today. So overall, probability down is coming from the climate for the time being. Now with volatility on gold, we'd expect a movement in a year of 19.71%. In a day, that's 23.21 points up or down. In a week, 51.1 points up or down. And in a month, 106.38 points up or down. That's gold. Now, the next market is the US dollar. As I load it, just to remind you that everything that we're looking at here is, of course, statistics and probabilities, but definitely not guarantees. No one knows what's definitely going to happen in the markets, so we do need to manage our risk, and you may add even extra layers of probability on top of this to give you more likelihood in your trading. Okay, US dollar, thick blue dot, probability to the upside. Now, I've been saying for a while here that we are quite far overextended to the upside, meaning we've been going up for a lot longer than we usually would. So it doesn't mean that things are going to turn around today or tomorrow. It just means that the further we go past what is normal, the less likely it is to happen. So bear that in mind. Still do, though, have probability to the upside for now. Buyers down here, reasonably far away now, between 100.675 to 99.81. Unlikely to affect us today. In terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year of 10.82%. In a day, 0.7 points. In a week, 1.55 points. And in a month, 3.23 points. That's the US dollar. Now, the last market is bakkt Bitcoin. So let's take a look at this. Again, just to highlight down here about our platform, Predictive Options Planner, more commonly known as TOP. So even though it has options in the name, it is actually very helpful if you are a stocks, futures or Forex trader for analysis purposes, and options in particularly because of all of the integrated apps that help with those decisions. So check that out if that would help you. Okay, bakkt Bitcoin, thick red dot, probability downwards. We do have sellers close by as well, between 40,332.5 to 39,342.5. We have buyers down here at 32,820 to 31,615. So overall, probability down, much closer to the sellers and a long way to go until we hit the buyers. Overall, probability to the downside with Bitcoin. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect Bitcoin to move up or down in 1 year of 64.45%. So in a day, that's 1,581.97 points. In a week, 3,482.54 points. And in a month, 7,249.48 points. Again, that's expected movement either up or down within those given periods of time. So that brings us to the end of our markets that we're looking at. And for each of them, we've looked at auto climate to figure out where we have probabilities up or down or nowhere. We've looked at auto UFOs, finding where the buyers are that could push price up and where the sellers are that could push price down. And we've looked at volatility, which is the expected movement up or down within given different periods of time. Now, the last thing to look at is our weekly economic calendar. We get this from fxstreet.com and we filter by high impact news. We do that because we want to know which scheduled news reports may affect the markets that we trade and increase volatility. So today being Wednesday, May the 4th, we've already had some news out this morning, Eastern time, that could have affected the euro or the US dollar or European or US markets. We have further news coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. Eastern that could affect the US dollar or US markets. And at 11 a.m. Eastern time, it starts Children's Day in Japan, I assume for 24 hours, which is most likely a national holiday and therefore not very much movement on the yen or Japanese markets. Now, any questions? Hopefully you know where to go, but you've got my email address, which is becky@tradewithufos.com, or you have this link here, tradewithufos.com/Becky, which takes you to this link. You can ask questions in this bit at the bottom. You can get apps and platforms and coaching. You can follow my notes from my sessions. You can book one-on-one coaching with me, and you can be directed to other parts of the website as well. Many places or many resources you can get to from the same place, which is this link, tradewithufos.com/Becky. So let me know if you need any help. Otherwise, I'll be back again tomorrow for the market commentary. So I'll see you then. Take care.